So now we can study layer 3 port channel. Layer 3 port channel means suppose this is the L2 and this is the switch 1 and this is the switch 2. Okay. If you configure it like this, you can create a one port channel number here, P10, port channel 10. Again, this is the port channel 10, right? Port channel 10. Okay. If you have two port channels, right? Port, yeah, this is the switch. This is port number 1. This is the port number 2. And this is the port number 3, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The four port channels here and four port channels is there, right? So this we are calling as an it is a layer 2 port channel. Layer 2 means L2 port channel. L2 port channel means in this port we have enabled switch port. It is enabled already by default is enabled switch port. What it is enabled in that this ports whatever physical ports are there here is enabled switch port. Switch port means this is the layer 2. Layer 2 means in that in this layer 2 switches, suppose this is the layer 2 switches, right? In the layer 2 switches we cannot assign the IP address on the physical interface. In this physical interface you cannot assign the IP addresses because this is a layer 2. That is switch port is enabled. Switch port is enabled. If you can do the no switch port, if we can do the no switch port here, you can do the no switch port inside the interface. No switch port inside the interface, then it's become a layer 3 port. It's become a layer we can it's become a layer 3 port means then if it is layer 3 port then we can assign the IP address. We can give the IP address on that particular port number. Okay. So if the layer 3 device is there, suppose we have a layer 2 and layer 3 device. Layer 2 means layer 2 switch. Layer 2 switch always start from the series is 2960, or it will start from the 2 when this it is beginning from the 2. If it is layer 3 switch means it will start from 3, 3850, just 38. Layer 3 means the layer 3 switch is start from the 3, number 3, and above all the switch is multi-layer switch means layer 3 switch. Suppose 3850. That is one model. I'm telling. I'm trying to say actually, if you have a layer 2 switch means this number should be like this. Means it will start from the like this. 2960 or 2 something else is there, right? If it will start from the layer 3 means this is the it will start from the number 3 and it will go till 9K. That is also the layer 3, but sometimes we are calling also the layer 3 as a multi-layer switch. What we are calling multi-layer switch as a layer 3. Okay. For the layer 3 also, for the layer 3 switch also, the whatever ports are there, the port is the total port are the layer 2 ports. In that also you will get the switch port. In that also you will get a switch port. We have to give the no switch port for the layer 3 port, layer 3 switch physical interface. Then it will become a layer 3 port. Otherwise, it will be a layer 2 ports. Okay, I'll show you here. This is your multi-layer switch. So inventory. So it will, if you give the show version also, it will show. It will see. This is the layer 3. This is the layer 3 switch. Okay. In that layer 3 switch also, any of the switch any of the port you can open. That is also the layer 2 port is there. So interface patch ethernet 0/1 switch port. You can give this command and you can see this layer switch port is enabled. See here, this is saying switch port is enabled. Means this is the layer 2 switch port is enabled. Now, if you assign the IP address of this port, it won't take. I will show you not now. Okay. So in this, if of in this you can aggregate it. After aggregation, it's become a layer 2 port channel. Layer 2 port channel because we are not assigning any IP address and we are not giving anything. So normal port channel is there. It means this is your L2 port channel. Okay. So the thing is, we are going to study about the L3 port channels. So the thing is, why do we need the L3 port channels? That is one thing. Suppose we have a this switch. Suppose we have a this switch, and so we are connected here. One port switch number port number 1, port number 2, 1. Let me create big picture. So we have port number 1. We have a port number 2, port number 3, port number 4. These are the multi-layer switch. Okay. Suppose this is the switch 1, multi-layer, and this is the switch 2, multi-layer. Okay. Suppose we don't have a port channel. So yeah, we are not running the port channel, or we are not running anything. So what will happen? Suppose just we are, this is the L3 port channels. We given this no switch port, or we given no switch port for no switch port for each and every physical port channel. We have given the no switch port for this physical port channel. Okay, this is the physical port channel. We have given no switch port. Means the this also we have given, this also we have given, this also means for 1 also we given, 2, 4 also, 3 also, and 4 also. Here also 1, 2, 3, and 4. We given the no switch port means all the ports is became a L3 ports now. So what will happen? Suppose we are running that we can connected to the two switches, L3 switches. Okay. So we are going to configure any of the routing protocol. Routing protocol means just we can configure RIP, yeah, or EIGRP, or we can configure the OSP of any of the routing protocol. If you configure the any of the routing protocol, so what will happen? So then each and every links we have to give the IP address. Suppose for this link we are given 10.1.1.1. For this we are giving 10.1.1.2. For this we are giving 20.1.1.1. For this we are giving 20.1.1.2. Okay, so like that we are giving the IP address 30.1.1.1, 30.1.1.2, and 40.1.1.1 and 40.1.1.2. Okay. So now the property of the EIGRP, just suppose we are going to give the EIGRP here. Okay. So if we have this EIGRP protocol, so then what will happen? So if you configure the EIGRP in this here and in here only, so the all are, then we have 4 neighbor here. This one neighbor, 2 neighbor, 3 neighbor, and 4 neighbor. Means total we have a 4 neighbor if you configure the EIGRP in this topology. Total 4 neighbor is there. Suppose if 4 neighbor is there, anything you are getting on here, right? If anything, any message is sending, to the 4 hello will be sent. The 4 hello will be sent. So what will happen in these conditions? They will it will also the encrypt that and decrypt that. Again, he will give the reply also for that. So what will happen in this? It will use the main CPU of this device. It will use the main CPU of if of this device. Okay, so in for these conditions might be the CPU utilization will become high, and device device will, it's going to assume it is slowness is there. Okay, so what will happen? So in this condition, suppose this link is goes down. Suppose this link is goes down. So what will happen? You are the traffic will flow with this link. Okay, but if you don't have a port channel, if we are just simple configure the EIGRP, then means just we are using the 4 IP address. If you don't have a port channel, right? Mean it is wasting of the IP address. Okay. If we have a port channel, if we can create the port channel, virtual port channel with this, so it's become a single, it's become a single port channel like 10, right? It's become a single port channel means just we can use the one IP address of this port channel. Means 10.1.1.1, you can use it here. No need to use the 4 IP address. Even if you use the one IP address, then neighbor is become a only one. One neighbor it will be there. If single neighbor it will be there, then it will send a single hello packet. Then it will reduce the CPU utilization, right? If you use a single of 11. Again, if this neighbor, this any of the link goes down, nothing will happen because three of them is up in the single IP address with the single neighbor. They are up actually, so they are going to exchange the packet. Understood? So the thing is actually why we are using the that L3 port channel. If any of the link goes down, so the traffic will not interrupt. It will flow as it is. Whatever data was flowing, it will flow continuously as it is. It is going to avoid the wastage of IP address. It is going to avoid the wastage of your downtime. It will not create the downtime also. So many things it is going to secure by using the L3 port channels. Okay, so let's configure it actually. Let's implement of this actually. After that, we can discuss about that. So according to this scenario, just we can configure the EIGRP first. EIGRP, and we can see what is the output of this actually. After that, we can configure the port channel, and then we can see the output of that port channel also. Just I can open the packet tracer here. In this, I have taken layer 3 switches here. There's 3560 and connected the two uplinks here. So we can open it actually. Switch number first. You can see here. Okay. So just we can show interface description. We can check the capacity of the interface. So I'll show you that. So interface fast Ethernet 0/1 switch port. You can see here the switch port means switch port is enabled, means this is the layer 2. This is the layer 2 interface. If you give the IP address, if you will give the IP address config terminal interface fast Ethernet 0/1 enter, you can give the IP address. It is not taking. It will not take at all. See, it is not taking. Okay. When we can make this no switch port. If you give the command no switch port, after that you can give the IP address. Now she's telling the line protocol interface is this, change state is down. It's giving the output of the this is giving the logs. When you are going to make any changes about about the interface, it will give the by default logs. It is a property of Cisco switches and routers. Okay, and now you can give that. So IP address it will take, right, 10.1.1.1. Okay, 255.255.255.0. Okay, no set. Now again you can assign to other IP to other interface. Interface fast Ethernet 0/2. First you can do no switch, no switch, no switch port, no switch port. If you give the no switch port, then what will happen? It's become a layer 3 port. Then you can assign the IP address 20.1.1.1 255.255.255.255.0. No set. Now what will happen? I have assigned the IP address of this switch. This is a 10.1.1.1, 10.1.1.2. Sorry, 10 and 20 IP address I have assigned. Go to the other switch. Go into this switch. Okay. Enable config terminal interface fast Ethernet 0/1. Give the no switch port to make a L3 port. IP address 10.1.1.2 255.255.255.0. No shut. Come out, exit, interface, fast Ethernet 0/2. No, first you can give the no switch port to make as an L3 port channel, then L3 switch add IP address 20.1.1.2 255.255.255.0. No shut. Okay, now we have configured the interface of the IP address of the interface. Let's see in this situation what will happen. So you will receive the directly connected route here. You can receive the directly connected. So IP route. You can see. No, it is not going to take actually. We can enable the routing. You can give the config terminal. You can give the IP routing. Then it is become a L3 switch. Now we were making the L2 port, L2, L3 port. Now we are creating the L3 switch. Means you can give the IP routing. Means if you enable the IP routing command, then the switch is become a L3 switch. See, so now it is become L3 switch. Configure the host name also. The host name switch 2. Okay. First you can come here. Here also you can give the same G. Config terminal IP routing. It's become a layer 3 switch. Then you can give the host name switch 1. Okay. Now you can give the show IP route. You can see the directly connected routes. Means This interface we have connected directly. This is also we have connected directly. Okay. So now we have connected the directly interface. If you configure the EIGRP, how to configure? I will tell you. If you configure the EIGRP, then what will happen? So then it will receive the routes from the other switch. So before that, just we can make as an one interface loopback one. I'm creating one loopback means just for the example, I'm creating one loopback IP address, loopback interface to give the IP address any of IP address you can give. We can use 30.1.1.1 and 255.255.255.0. Okay. I've given this, but this route you cannot receive in a switch 2. See, we cannot receive. So IP route, you can give the command. Just we have the directly connected route. Okay. Configure one loopback also you can configure here. Interface loopback one IP address 40.1.1.1 1 255.255.255.0. That route also you will not receive in. So IP route, its command, it is going to show the number of route, how many routes are there in the routing table. So now see, we have just directly connected route. This is not available in the 40 is not available in switch 1 and 30 is not available in switch 2. See here. So now just we can configure the IP. You can configure the route EIGRP routing here. So configure config terminal router EIGRP 100. You can give no auto summary. And I'm going to give a network command as in 00. 00 means it is going to take entire, it will take all the it will take all the routes from here to there. So we cannot give the one by one. So if you configure any other routes also, it will take, because 0 means it is going to take entire routes from here. So router EIGRP 100, no auto summary, and right click here and give the paste because I copied from there. And but we have a 2 has, we can remove one from here. Enter, right? If you enter here, I said right, it was in 2 adjacency. Now see, it is in 2 adjacency, right? So IP, EIGRP, neighbor. You can see we have a 2 adjacency here, right? A one for the 10, one for the 20 means one for the 10, one for the 20. We have a 2 links means we have a 2 adjacency. Means 2 neighbors we have. This is the 2 neighbors. 0 means 1 and 1 means 2. This is the 2 neighbors, 10 and 20. 2 neighbors is there for the each and every switch. If any of the neighbors went down, then what will happen? So IP, now you can see, so IP, EIGRP neighbor. 2 neighbor also is there, and you can see here. So IP route, now see, the 40 we are receiving now. We are start receiving the 40. From where? D. D it is showing for the EIGRP. See, the D is code of the EIGRP. So now we are start receiving the 40. But we have a 2 neighbors. So IP, EIGRP neighbor, we have a 2 neighbors here. To avoid this, to make as a single neighbor, just we can create the port channel or L3 port channel, and then it will, the both our neighbor will become in single neighbor. Okay. So how do we do that? Let's check. First, you can remove the IP address of the link. So interface fast Ethernet 0/1 IP address 10.1.1.1 255.255.255.0. You can put how much? How you can put? No, it will remove. But do the same task for 0/2 also. So what was the IP address? 20.1.1.1. Okay, that is also no. Go for other switch also. See, we remove the IP address. It is going to down. Interface fast Ethernet 0/1 IP address 10.1.1.2 255.255.255 5.0. No. Okay. No. Okay. The same you can go for the /2 also. /2 we have a IP address 20.20.2, we can give the 2. So now after this you can see, so IP EIGRP neighbor, nothing is there, right? Because we have removed it, right? So how to configure? Come into the switch one. It's very easy. Exit interface range fast Ethernet, interface range fast Ethernet 0/1-2. Okay, we cannot give the trunk because this is a layer 3 port, we created layer 3 port, right? Simple, we can give the channel group, channel group, whatever group you can give. See, the layer 2 switch, we have just 1 to 6 group, but here you can see we have till 48 groups. Any of the give 10. Then you can give the mode, any of the mode you can give, no problem. Just I'm going to create on only. Okay, now we created one port channel here. Come, so ether channel summary, we created port channel number 1. Okay, let's go for the other side also. Config terminal interface fast interface range fast Ethernet 0/1-2. Channel group, channel group 20, any of the group mode, give the on. Any of mode you can give, for all modes are there, right? You can see here, so ether channel summary, we have a summary here, right? The port channel is up. See, R means you can give the so ether channel. This is the layer 3 port channel. Link you can give the maximum 8 because we are giving the on mode. See, the layer 3 port channel is the right. Okay. Now, so how to assign the IP address on in this port? See, come here, config terminal interface port channel number 10. Now you can give the IP address 10.1.1.1 255.255.255.0. Okay, the same things you can give with the other also. Config terminal interface port channel number 20, IP address 10.1.1.2 255.255.255.0. Okay, now you can see here, show IP EIGRP neighbor. You can see here, now it's become a one neighbor which is learning from the, there is no any physical interface, but it was interface physical is there, but now we have just port channel number 20 here. You can see here also, you can see here also, show ether channel, so IP EIGRP neighbor. See, we have a single port. We remove the 2 physical ports. If any of the port goes down, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen because just now we have configured the single IP. So IP interface, you can see, so IP interface brief. We have assigned the IP address of the port channel number. This is the port channel. We have assigned the IP address. Okay. Anyone have any question? How to configure it? Like that we can configure. Show ether channel summary. See, this is the port channel number. R means layer 3. R means layer 3. U means use. Layer 3 in use. This is how we have configured it actually. Anyone has any questions? Please ask.